Naz, this is such an important case to talk about, the one involving Ms. Chung. And the reason why is you had to proactively sue the government to protect your client from not only being illegally detained, but also being deported. So talk about the win that you obtained on Tuesday from a federal judge.
Thank you so much for having me. And yes, so we were in a position for Ms. Chung where we knew that the government was looking for her. They visited her parents' home and otherwise conveyed that they had an administrative warrant for her arrest. And so unlike in other situations where somebody's, picked up basically and kidnapped off the street, as we saw with Mr. Khalil, as we've seen with Ms. Ozturk, she was in a position to proactively go and seek protection from the court. And so right now what we have is basically just temporary protection, keeping the status quo as it is until the judge can hear further arguments on the legal merits of her case.
So, Naz, I want to kind of dig a little bit deeper on this because I want our viewers to understand what happened here. Federal agents allegedly, and this is what you guys allege in the lawsuit, using false pretenses, not even honestly telling a magistrate judge what the immigration status was of Ms. Chung, went to her dorm room at Columbia University to be able to go in there, and they're claiming it's because Columbia was harboring an illegal alien. But Yoonsa has been in the United States since she's been 7. She's a legal permanent resident. And so how critical is it that people understand that the Trump administration is, again, allegedly using false pretenses to be able to go into people's homes, to be able to take them into custody, and, for example, in the situation with Mahmoud Khalil, just whisk them off to another state before they even have any due process in front of an immigration judge?
You're absolutely right, and it should be terrifying, I think, to most people in this country. I know that the video, especially of Ms. Ozturk's arrest, has scared a lot of people, and it is really concerning the lengths that the government is going to find people and whisk them away and take them away thousands, hundreds of miles away from any community that they have, any family or friends that they have, any legal support that they have. And to your question specifically about the warrant, yes, she has lawful permanent resident status, and she continues to have lawful permanent resident status until it is taken away by an immigration judge. So you can't go in front of a magistrate judge and claim that she is unlawfully present in the United States and that somehow Columbia University is furthering her unlawful presence in the United States, because she remains a lawful permanent resident until an immigration judge takes that away.
And let's be clear as well, Naz, just because Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who frankly has bigger fish to fry than this, but just because Secretary of State Marco Rubio says, I'm revoking your visa, does not in and of itself make you an illegal, correct?
That's correct, actually. So this is sort of complicated, but there's a technical difference between having your student visa revoked and being in what's called lawful student or SEVIS status. And it is our understanding that in addition to taking these measures of what we believe to be unlawful revocations of student visas, ICE is also doing something else on its own end, which is unilaterally terminating the student's SEVIS status in their records. And that is normally something that is done by the university. When the university notes that the student is no longer attending classes or the student has been suspended or something else. And it is our understanding from Ms. Ozturk's case and from other cases that ICE is doing that unilaterally.
And the disappearance of political dissidents, we see that happen in countries like Russia and North Korea and Cuba and some other countries. We don't see that happen here in the United States, and yet that is exactly what is happening now. It doesn't make a difference where you want to come down on the side of this, if it's a First Amendment issue, or if it's an issue of whether or not you actually pose a threat to national security. There still has to be due process that is afforded to you. You can't just be rounded up off the street or summarily just taken into custody, detained, and deported.
Absolutely, and I think that one of the things that should be frightening to people and is concerning to a lot of people, not just international students, but also now citizen students as well, is like, well, if they're doing this to them, what are they going to do to us? How are they going to come after us? How are they going to take us away from our communities, our university campuses, our families? It is really concerning, and we agree that people should be concerned about it.
So Ms. Chung has an upcoming hearing on May 20th. What are the next steps in her case?
Right. So the judge ordered temporary relief just to, maintain the status quo. And what we'll be arguing is against the government's ability to use this provision of the immigration law against her solely on the basis of her speech in support of Palestinians in Gaza and her fellow students who've been facing discipline.
Naz, Ahmed, I'm so grateful that you took the time to speak to us and to be able to inform our viewers as to what is going on, because it's critically important. A lot of people think it's not happening to me, and then it happens to them. And so people need to speak up. Thank you, Ms. Ahmed, for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.